safe to say there are no more intimate generational relationships than those which exist between a parent and a child, or a grandparent and a grandchild. This is a generational chain of trust representing the transfer of family heirlooms, traditions, and values, symbolizing the importance of generational relationships and represents the custodial responsibilities one generation has fulfilled in preserving, protecting, and defending that which they've received intact by way of an inheritance from a previous generation. This is a generational chain of trust with a broken link. The question is, which one did you receive? And which one are you passing along to the next generation? I don't know about you, but if you're a member of the current custodial generation, you've received the generational chain of trust intact. It had no broken links, and with it you've enjoyed some wonderful financial opportunities. Here are a couple examples. We had an opportunity to purchase our first stock when the stock market was trading around 500, and in our lifetime we've seen it increase to over 14,000, a 28-fold increase. We had an opportunity to purchase a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home for $10,000, and during our lifetime watched 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes sell for over $200,000, a 20-fold increase. Conversely, politicians have turned a $2.6 trillion Social Security Trust Fund asset into a $2.6 trillion General Revenue Fund special obligation bond debt, inflicting a $5.2 trillion net loss on this and future generations. Here's a current United States Senator verifying what I've just said.
Congresses under both Republican and Democrat control have stolen money from Social Security.
We have stolen $2.6 trillion from it.
The money's gone.
So there's no question that there's an IOU in there.
When we took our first breath, the national debt was less than $100 billion. And most assuredly, before we take our last breath, the national debt will be somewhere north of $16 trillion, a 372-fold increase. Some like me have seen our medical insurance bill go from over $500 a month to $0 per month, thanks to Medicare Advantage, with a tab picked up by our children and grandchildren. Then we join a senior organization and go for one more squeal out of the pig by dining or traveling off the senior discount menu. Certainly one has to wonder, just how many golden eggs can one goose lay? Here's what 2 of our teenage granddaughters had to say upon learning what you've just learned. First, 13-year-old Vanessa said this. She said, "I know there are things I can't control yet, and until I can, I have to place my trust in someone else. For example, I want to know that if I fall, the person I place my trust in will be there to catch me. It's the same way with the generational chain of trust. If one day one generation says to the next generation, 'Just kidding,' then the generational chain of trust will be broken." 15-year-old Amber wrote this. "Grandpa has told me how the piece of Mom and Dad's paychecks that was supposed to be put away for their future Social Security checks was instead spent. Now my generation is on the hook. I don't think that's right. Remember, one day you will probably need a piece of my paycheck to help pay for your Social Security check. So I remind you, what's fair is fair." Neither Vanessa or Amber have a vote yet, but both of them now possess an educated voice, and they're using it to call upon the rest of us to cast an educated vote, and follow up that vote by demanding politicians stop talking and start doing something about addressing this issue that has put them so far in debt before they've even earned their first paycheck. None of what's been said here is meant to be an indictment of the current custodial generation. Lord knows they've been a great American asset. However, it is intended to be a wake-up call, a reminder, if you will, of what the possibilities are when one generation fulfills their responsibilities and passes along the generational chain of trust intact to the next. Here's the good news. There is a better way, a way that replaces the economic storm clouds that have formed over Main Street with the dawning of a new day in America, a new day that builds a new highway to the future and repairs the bridges that connect the generations. The Better Way proposal is called AmeriCare Today or Act, and I'm asking for your help in connecting the dots in all 435 congressional districts across America. Remember, this isn't about red state America or blue state America. This is about rising up and putting the red, white, and blue back into the United States of America. We already have one cheerleader, and she's our 7-year-old granddaughter, Heaven Lee.
America! America!
The clock is ticking, and it's time to act.